If you ever do a little research on Kazakh orthography, things get quite confusing. There isn't even true consensus on how many vowels Kazakh has. So how do you even plan an orthography? Well, I'm going to try to do just that. Hello, I'm Sissy Languagist, and today I'm going to propose a Latin-based orthography for Kazakh. Let's set a few goals. 1. Turkic reintegration. If you want to know more in depth what reintegrationism is, you can check out my last video about RAW. But basically the idea is that Kazakh orthography should base itself on the same principles that other Turkic orthographies are based on. The most obvious and somewhat official way of doing that is through the Common Turkic Alphabet, CTA, so we'll try and follow its guidelines. 2. Phonymicity. There should be a one-to-one correspondence between phonemes and letters. 3. Plurality of options for different analyses. There are many different analyses of the Kazakh phonemic inventory, especially the vowel inventory. I couldn't find all the main analyses, and I only know of their existence because they are mentioned in other papers. I will offer 2 different sub-proposals for 2 different analyses, the 9 vowel analysis and the 11 vowel analysis. Let's start with the consonants. These are the consonant letters that match their IPA symbols: P, B, T, D, K, G, Q, M, N, R, S, Z, L. The CTA proposes N with tilde, S with cedilla, J, X, Y for ng, sh, zh, ch, y. In its 2024 version, it also proposes G with brev for l. There is no proposal for w in the CTA, and we could go for V, but I feel like W is better. But I'll assume the G with brev was also meant for other voiced dorsal continuants, like r, so we'll use it for that. Now on to vowels. Let's start with the ones that are the same whether you ascribe to the 9 vowel analysis or the 11 vowel analysis. I've chosen A for A, schwa for A, and O for O. I've also chosen E for E or ye, depending on the analysis you make of this vowel. Deviating from the current Kazakh Latin alphabet, I've chosen dotless I for by process of elimination, and because it is somewhat close to is close to so I've picked O with diaresis for this phoneme, and the CTA proposes U with diaresis for Now comes the tricky part. See, there is much debate going on about whether Kazakh has E and U as phonemes, but I'll try and include them in one version of my proposal and exclude them from the other version. What others consider a single E phoneme is often considered to be a sequence of I plus Y or plus Y. Similarly, U is often considered to be a sequence of U plus W or plus W. As you can see from the chart, if we don't consider these 2 E and U phonemes, then there is no need to create a new letter just for I and U, like the current Kazakh orthography does. So for I and U, we use I and U. If we do consider the diphthongs E and U as existing phonemes, then we do need a separate letter for and I. In this case, I've chosen I with circumflex and U with circumflex for those diphthongs. The CTA uses U with macron, but I feel like it doesn't make much sense in this context. We could use a macron for both and I, but given how common I is, I feel like it doesn't make sense to fill a page with macrons. So we'll use I and U for I and U, and a circumflex on these letters for E and U. And voila, we're done. This is the proposal for consonants. This is the proposal for vowels, with version 1 and 2 for comparison. In a reintegrationist context, the Kazakh language would undergo a reform to get rid of those Russian loanwords that have not adapted to Kazakh phonology. So that is how a hypothetical form of Turkic reintegrationism would work. One could even replace loanwords with calques from other languages, or older borrowings that have better assimilated into the language. As a final note, this is the first article of the Declaration of Human Rights, both in Cyrillic and in my orthography. And here is the keyboard layout based on the Turkish keyboard layout, the Q1. By the way, I'm not at all a professional linguist. This proposal is just based on a bit of research I did, and it's just for fun. Let me know what you think.